Hello folks, welcome to part 5 of my Pokemon Shield Nuzlocke. Obviously, if you've not seen parts 1 to 4, don't start here. This is the end, so there'll be lots of spoilers and stuff. Now, for those of you who have watched, welcome back. Obviously, last video was a bit tragic. We lost our Cinderace, who we've had since the beginning. Our starter Pokemon Blaze is dead. Now, I kind of figured that I need to fill up the gap that she's left behind. We were going to try and upgrade Dracovish, or Rule Breaker as his name did, because I didn't name him in game, with something from the Lake of Outrage, but we ended up just running into this Shiinotic, and I kind of, looking back, think I probably could have done any better. We figured we didn't have a grass type and there'd be a water type battle to be done along the way, but we did also get to go to Axu's Island, whatever it's called, and get ourselves a Haxorus, which again feels a little bit more powerful. We called that Pumbaa, so we've got Toad and Pumbaa straight in the team, and I feel like immediately the squad has got a bit of an upgrade. Now, we're ready. We're getting on the train to go to the Champion Cup. I've skipped all of the story. There was a hide-and-seek game and all sorts of drama that went on at this point, and I've skipped all that. I just figured, let's just get on the train, get prepped. The team does look pretty good. Soul Reaver is there, looking pretty solid. Lulu, we've got Ben, we've got Little Pig, we've got Pumbaa and Toad. I mean, I had to go and adjust the moves for Pumbaa and Toad behind the scenes, but we're ready for the championship. They're in a good position. And yeah, we're looking good. Ball Guy gives us a Dream Ball, which is pretty useless at this point. We're not going to go and catch anyone. Maybe I could have done with doing that before I went off and caught all the different Pokemon. But we've also done a bit of leveling up with some Dynamax battling just to try and get some candy and get some bits, buy some moves and so forth. So yeah, the team's pretty strong at this point, and I think we're ready to just smash through them all and take on Leon. The very first battle up is going to be against Marnie, and I mean, she's a good first battle. She's not going to be too challenging. I'm hoping that we'll be able to defeat her. Obviously, we've fought her a couple of times along the way. I feel like she was probably the real rival. She's leader of the Team Yell, pretty much, isn't she? And she's just generally got a bit of an attitude and feels like she's better than you. So, yeah, here we are now with the first battle, and I really don't want to fall at this hurdle. We've had a lot of bloodbaths in these episodes, so I'm hoping that this will be smooth sailing. Get through this. I think it's hop up after her, and then you start fighting the old gym leaders and so forth. So Lulu smashes her there with a one-hit hammer arm, which is very handy. Being a dark type, using a fighting move, obviously going to be a win there. Now, we should switch up here. We have switched up with Soul Reaver to go up against the, is it Scrafty, she said. Now, we need to be able to kind of just take these down as quickly as we can. So I'm hoping Brick Break will do a good job. And it does. It does a one-hit wonder. Excellent stuff. So, right, next we'll go with Little Pig. Who have we got up against? Toxicroak. So, again, a ground move should be able to take Toxicroak down pretty effectively. One hit, Earthquake, job done. Excellent work. So, now I think we're up to more Picos, usually our last one, if I remember correctly. And again, it's electric. So, doing another ground-type move should just wipe the floor of it. And it does. So, excellent. That is, I think, the first battle. Unless she's got any other aces up her sleeve. Grimmsnarl. Ooh, okay. Can't really use a fighting type here. I don't really know what the answer would be for this. It feels like we'd want to go with a fighting to hit the dark, but then Fairy's weak against that. So, would you go with Lulu? I think maybe Lulu seems the best bet. I'll stick with Little Pig and do an Earthquake would probably be the other option. But I don't know what Past Me did. I'm watching it with you. It feels like I stuck with Little Pig. Did I? I did. Earthquake. Look at that. It's what I would have done now. I don't know whether it would do a very good job. She's Dynamaxing it. I don't know whether... I really don't know whether this is a good job. I feel like what other options would there have been? That did over half damage. Did sort of 3/4 damage there. So that's probably the best bet we had. There is a worry because it looks like it's made of grass. It looks like you'd worry it'd do a grass move and slaughter you. But we managed to do it in 2 hits. That was probably the most challenging part of this entire battle for us. And she looks very disappointed to have lost to us yet again. Which she should be because she's, got pretty good Pokemon and didn't win. Now, there's no handshake here. So I'm guessing she hates me still. Which, again, makes her feel like more of a rival. Speaking of rivals, here's Hop again. I'm guessing it's him who we're up against. Which sucks. I mean, I guess he's gone to do his battle and he's won. Which doesn't seem to stack up with his nature. He should have been knocked out there. I think I just stood around in disbelief for a second thinking, wait a minute, no, this sounds like some kind of trick. But off we go. We've sorted our team out. I don't think I changed anything. I'm looking at that thinking it's the same as last time, is it not? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure we don't really mix the team up through these battles because it's quite a balanced team. We've got fire, ice, grass, fairy, dark, normal, with fighting moves, with ice moves, with, earthquake, and then we've got Soul Reaver with water and fighting. So yeah, I feel like we're pretty evenly matched here for any sort of opponent. Now, Dubwall has no business being here. This seems the silliest thing. Like, I know it's a character creating thing, but come on, like, what on earth? And it's funny that Hop's still excited about super effective moves when he's not using them. I mean, 2 and it's done. So Dubwall, I just feel like it was weird. It shouldn't have been there. It's not like getting a Pikachu and taking it to the end. At least Raichu had some moves, but that's just a weird mascot. Okay, Snorlax v Snorlax and the old hammer arm. I mean, it's a risk to have Lulu up against it just in case it does the same thing. But fortunately, he's just restoring. If he'd have done a hammer arm there back, I might have been twitching a bit. But we're just kind of, oh, there we go. It's not done anywhere near the damage. Is it not as good a level? It's 47. I didn't even look at that bit. That's silly. Again, seems like it should be a bit higher. I'd maybe set that to match a little bit if I was programming the game, just to make it a bit more difficult for people. But we'll take it. We'll take it. I can't remember what they said was coming up because I was talking, so I'm waiting to see what I did here. Putting out the old Mama Swine, which a pin urchin. Okay, I mean, I don't really know what pin urchin is. I would have guessed water type or poison type. I'm guessing it was poison, the fact that I just massacred it with an earthquake, but it's still a weird Pokemon to be putting out in your cup final. I mean, what on earth is he thinking? Now, okay, we need to get her out of here, unless you're going to do an ice move, I suppose. Or a rock move. I didn't realise we had Stone Edge. That's fortunate. That should just make quick work of Corviknight. I wish I had one on my team at this point, though. See, it's taken stones right to its face. That's how tough it is. I suppose it is part steel, which would make a difference. Maybe using ice here would have been useful, but instead we're going to switch it out. Not sure why I've gone with a fighting type against a flying type. That seems dodgy, although the steel weakness is one thing, but it still seems dodgy to have gone up against a flying move potentially. We haven't lost a Pokemon to Hop so far, though, which is basically rule number 1, don't fail to Hop. I mean, Team Yell were also on that list, and we lost Pokemon to them left, right, and centre, but I'm pretty sure as long as we get through this, Hop will get nothing over us. He's throwing out his grass type against our fire type. Very, very kind of him. This is exactly what we have come to expect from Hop throughout this journey. He does not understand typed weaknesses, and I feel like this should have been Blaze making these moves, but the fact that Gareth could evolve and become a mainstay fire type in our team, it worked out all right. I mean, I'd like to have seen her kicking a ball of fire into the Rillaboom's face, but we've just burst him with fire and he's fainted immediately. That is a humiliating blow for Hop, because I've basically released my starter into the wild and I still beat him. Look at him. Look at him. Pathetic. $5,000 I got out of that. Wasn't even worth it to see him sad. I'd have paid, to be fair, I'd have paid to see him sad, but he's just paid me to humiliate himself. Everyone's come out to cheer us on, and Leon's come to lord it over his brother, who's obviously lost when it comes to the family gene pool. But yeah, here we are. We're basically beaten. I don't know if that was the final against Hop before we go on to the big leagues. I'm guessing it must be, because there's no one else in the team, in the story, who would be good enough to go up against us. It's weird to think that Hop's the second best contestant from the pool of contestants. It feels really hard to believe. But then I suppose when you get thrashed by me on a daily basis, it must make a difference. Now, today's the day of the big championship against all of the gym leaders. We're all ready. This is the finals, so they get to watch me go up against all the different gym leaders, which feels like an odd way to do it instead of an Elite Four, but I guess it makes sense. It's like, I'm the best of the year. Now I've got to see whether I'm good enough to make it into the mix with everybody else. Now, I think there were a lot of other shenanigans and running around, because it might not have been here, but at some point throughout this, there was all sorts of shenanigans and the story wasn't as straightforward, but we'll just skip these a bit. Hop's getting in the way. For a split second, I thought he was going to battle me, and I was thinking, for the love of God, man, I've already beaten you in front of a crowd of people several times. Like, just let me get on with it. But luckily, we're beyond Hop now. We don't have to battle Hop anymore, as far as I am aware. I don't think he's got the audacity to try and challenge you once you become the obvious, clear championship-winning successor that you are. So, yeah, here we are with all of our rightful peers. I mean, we've already beaten all of these one-on-one, but for some reason we've got to do it again in front of a crowd of, well, there was a crowd before, to be fair. I mean, I don't know what the differences in stadium sizes are. This looks like an identically sized stadium to all the other ones, really. But yeah, we're going to go up against the gym leaders. I'm making sure my team's ready, everyone's healed, everyone's in the right state of mind, and whatever it is, they've all got items now, which is something I know I did this before the Dragon Gym, but I made sure they've all got proper items and tags and healing bits on them, so everyone can actually survive a couple of deathly blows if need be, or at least have something that might help them hold on at the extreme ends of the, if we get knocked down to 1 health or something, we might bounce back. So here we are, Leon's introducing everyone. We've got to go up against all this lot again. It's basically be a bit of a rehash of the gym run, but it should be good. It should be, I mean, they're going to be challenging. I'm worried about going up against Nessa. We don't have her first. We have Bede first, do we? That seems surprising, but he's been given the chance to just parachute in and become a gym leader out of the blue. Again, he was a good rival. He should have been in the finals with us, but he's going to parachute in and become a gym leader, which I guess is a weird way of saying he succeeded. He had a good turnout, but we get to humiliate him, hopefully. Although I don't think we've got any poison moves we can really use, which immediately puts us at a disadvantage, and no steel moves. So, I mean, fire would be good here. So would ground, high horse. And yeah, I think that's going to do it in one hit. Oh, nearly one hit. Okay, and I got a bit ahead of myself there, but we're at the point now where they use full restores on everything, so we can get it down to that point and keep just playing with the same button. It should be all right. Should get it through. And we did. There we go. Morwile. I don't know how to say that. I've always only ever read it, but I've never heard Ash Ketchum say it, which is how I define how a Pokemon's name should be said. So we're currently trying to figure out what to do next. I didn't read Gardevoir. Okay, so I feel like it is hard to know what to do because ground moves aren't going to hurt all of them. We haven't really got anything that I can think of that would have hurt Gardevoir here. We just need to try and muscle it out with high horsepower, I guess. I mean, Ice Beam, nah, I don't see how that's any good or any different. I don't think I've got any moves on any Pokemon that would poison it or stab it, or there's no bug, obviously, for the psychic side. So, yeah, this is probably one of the few curveball battles that we've got, but we've hit it there with horsepower and it's died immediately. So, what do I know? Wasn't expecting that, but Rapidash next. We could switch here to Soul Reaver and use water, but oh no, I forget it's a Galarian, isn't it? Good job I didn't do that. It's obviously we're fighting the bloody psychic fairy person, so obviously it was going to be this. Old school Rapidash was in my head, but no, we're all right. We're doing fine. High horsepower all the way. High horsepower defeats the horse, or unicorn, should I say? But let's keep going. It is. I don't know why I didn't just try and put someone in with steel on this. I mean, it seems obvious that you would put in Bouncy Ball at this point because he's psychic as well, so we'd be able to wear some of the moves and do a bit of damage back. But oh well, it's in the past. I can't change that now. But where are we? Hatterini? Is that this one? I always read it as Haterni, but it's only now that I'm thinking Hatterini sounds more like a Pokemon name than Haterni. So Max Quake it is. Let's see what Lulu can do. And fingers crossed, this will be just one Pokemon all the way through, just dishing out blows. So Max Quake goes first. Not much damage at all. Hopefully Lulu manages to get through these sorts of moves. Not much damage there either. So we're both at a bit of a neutral battle here. I can't use the fighting move. There's no point using the psychic move. So it's just Quake or Hailstorm. And I would have probably tried Hailstorm there just to see what would happen. But we're going for the guaranteed quarter of health gone. He's used the same move, and now he's lost his Dynamax. We've got one more in the tank. So here we go. And we killed Hatterini. I'm going with Hatterini. I'm committing on that now. If anyone thinks that that's not how you say it, let me know in the comments below, because that's how I've decided it is now. It might be bang on. I might be digging it out of the back of my mind. But there we go. We've beaten him. Battle 3. Yeah, Battle 3's done. We're into the proper finals against proper gym leaders next, not just kids who turned up and took over after old ladies who just couldn't be bothered anymore. But Bede didn't shake her hand either. He's a monster, but again, I suppose he's also another rival. So we're up against Nessa next, which means we need to rearrange the team a bit because Lil Pig and Gareth especially are going to get annihilated by any kind of water attack, which makes them a bit pointless. So Helishok's an obvious answer. Stick them in. They'll be able to do a little bit of electric damage. Should be helpful. Might, come in clutch for us a little bit. And then moving Little Pig out for the Haxorus, we've got Pumbaa. Again, I'm not 100% sure with them. Like, we've not used them much, so I don't really know how useful they're going to be. Part of me wonders again whether Bouncy Ball might have been useful just because there's not really a weakness there. I mean, Grimmsnarl's got a grass move, so that can be useful, but it's mainly Fairy and Dark. We're just sort of weighing up, thinking who would be good here. I wish I'd leveled some of these up a bit more, perhaps, but maybe I jumped the gun a little bit going straight into the battle. Like we got Cliff there, Cliff 3, I think it was in the end, Cliff 2, just not evolved. It's like we're right at the end, checking through my moves to see whether there's anything we can teach someone last minute. Makes me again feel like maybe I wasn't as prepared as I could have been, but here we are. We're just trying to rinse as much as we can out of all of the resources available to us before we go up against the challenger that I think is probably the most difficult one, Nessa. She's the one who killed the most of our Pokemon during the battles. She didn't kill our starter, obviously, but because they didn't play in that battle because they were fire type. But she killed quite a few, and she's just good. I really like her. She's really strong. And so here we go. Lulu up against Glossopod. Again, one where I'm not sure if I know how to say it right. Golisopod. I would call it Glossy Pod, but I think I'm thinking the Glossy Box, which is a makeup thing my wife buys. Golisopod. Okay, so again, we don't have anything flying because we never got a Corviknight, so it's hard to really know what to hit it with other than fire would have been relatively useful, I suppose. It's caught us off guard a little bit, but we're just going to have to wear it. We can't use anything psychic. Just ice and horsepower again. I think we're really upping the old attack here, which is very nerve-wracking. You don't want them to do a cheeky attack. And plus, if they get too hurt, if you don't kill them in one go, they jump out of battle and then come back later. There we go, emergency exit. So it's slightly worrying that they can just pop in and out as and when they want to, and they're just going to be a constant kind of thorn in our side. But seeing Seeking in any kind of important battle feels like a letdown. I feel like Seeking is... I mean, I know it was a Goldeen before, so she's either evolved it or she's got both, but it's pathetic. It shouldn't be there. And I would have been absolutely heartbroken if it had killed Lulu, because I don't rate it at all. It's basically just a common fish you'd see in someone's pond. So I'm glad to see it just getting punched in the face by Lulu here. Hammer arm it, and jobs are good. And it would have been unthinkable for Seeking to have killed anything of ours. So I think Glossopod is coming back out now, is it? I think that's what she said. So I don't know why I put Helishock up against it. That feels like a bit of an odd thing to do. I mean, we can dig away from it perhaps, but everything else we've got is not very strong against it. So I wouldn't have done this looking at it today. I mean, Dig did nothing. Liquidation. Helishock's dead. I would have expected this from Nessa. She's killed one of my Pokemon again. But yeah, I can't believe... I mean, Glossopod's a good Pokemon, but I can't believe it did that. So here we are trying to do some damage to it and get rid of the damn thing. Part of me thinks Guillotine would have been a good dice roll move, but we won't do that. It's still upping its attack, so we're worrying that, again, it could just stick a swipe in and kill us. She's just done the full restore, which, again, is heartbreaking when these things happen. It's like, that's probably the hardest bit about any of these gym leader battles, is that when they do the full restore, it just destroys you. Glossopod's jumped away again, and Barrascuda's there, which is one we just don't really know how to beat. I don't really know enough about it from like my past. Ice Fang, wouldn't have seen that coming. We've got a dragon type. Would have been really dodgy to... I would have jumped out there if I hadn't already got the move teed up, but we killed it, thankfully. That could have been a one-hit kill if it had been a stronger move or a stronger Pokemon. That was worrying. It makes me realise I should have learned a bit more about Gen 8 Pokemon, because that's not the first time I've done that, where I've assumed a type or a type of moves and then been done over by it. So Bug here, it's a bit of a... none of these moves are particularly doing any damage, so we've managed to kill it with that. That's good. It's finally out of the way, but I wasn't very convinced. We could have done with a rock move here, perhaps, although Pelipper obviously is water type as well, so it wouldn't have done a great move, but Power Whip will come in handy. I don't know why we didn't use Ben from the start, really, all the way through. It might have been more useful than some of the ones we used. Quite a few levels up there as well, which should be helpful in us holding on a bit more. I would have probably left Ben in here again against Dreadnought, thinking about it, but we're sticking at our grass Pokemon. We're justifying the reason we caught Toad, basically. That's what we're doing here. We went and caught Toad, which we shouldn't have really done, and now we're sending him out to Gigantamax against Dreadnought and hoping that he'll just do something useful. I'm really hoping he doesn't just die here, because there is moves up. I mean, Razor Shell is still a water move, I think. I'm sat here now thinking, could be a steel move. It's Razory. He's got a steel nose. It could be something that's, the Razor bit might be deadly, but I'm sure it's a water move. I might be wrong now. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Max Overgrowth kills it in one, though. One hit. There he goes. That's why we caught Toad. Toad's the man. Thank you very much, Toady. Good work. Now, I still don't think he was worth using our Lake of Outrage catch on him for that one hit, because that is basically his only contribution so far to literally anything we've done. But Nessa's tearing her hair out. She's gutted. She's very disappointed that she's lost. She doesn't shake my hand either. Obviously, all bets are off at this point. Maybe I'm trying to take one of their places. I don't know how it really works, but we're into the next round, and everybody's being sort of set up. I'm rearranging the old team. Helishok's been released, which is sad to see. I wasn't expecting to be releasing anyone at this point. But bye-bye, Helishok. Thank you for your help. See you soon. Pumbaa's still alive, but I don't know who we really need for this one. It's difficult, again, to figure out which is the best one to put in. I think we're going to try and put in Kieran, although we're looking at the wrong one there out of the two. Little Pig back in, maybe? Come on, Sheepdog. Make your mind up. So Kieran's in, and Pumbaa's out for Gareth. And yeah, here we go. We're away. We're ready. Let's go straight in. It feels a bit mad that you're kind of in and out of this room like this, and it's a shame there's not a shop there or anything like that. But here we are. Next battle. We've done Bede, we've done Nessa, and he's just waffling on while we wait for Alistair to turn up with his weird mask on, hiding his face as usual. Come on, Alistair. What you got for me? What are you going to do? He reckons we should battle, apparently. You don't say. Now, he's the one with the Gigantamax Gengar at the end, and I'm not really sure what we can do here. I mean, I suppose Ben with his dark moves will be useful. We've got Dusk Noir. I suppose there's not going to be much damage done against Snorlax by a ghost type. Where are we? Come on. What are you doing? What's your plan, Sheepdog? Dark type straight out. Hoping for the best. I feel like the game would have prepared for this, though. I feel like they would have been looking to have a really good move there. But Darkest Lariat, I was going to say it would be a one hit, but it was quicker than me talking. So there we go. One hit wonder. Hopefully we could just one hit through the rest of it. I suppose we're getting rid of... I mean, Chandeler's fire type. We shouldn't have been worrying too much about that. We don't need to go water moves against it. Using dark moves against it is still going to be effective. I mean, it looks like that's what we did. Cool. I've convinced myself in the past. So Darkest Lariat again. Another one-hit wonder. Hopefully Ben's got this all cut out for me. I mean, I figured he was going to be a very powerful Pokemon to have at this point. Poltegeist feels like another Darkest Lariat straight in the face. They're protecting. Will it be enough? Let's wait and see. It's protected itself. It was enough, but not for a second round. Boom. See you later, Teapot. I love that. It's a weird Pokemon, but I love it. Just a cup of tea haunted by a ghost. Cursola is an awkward one because I couldn't remember if it was just ghost type or not. It died like the rest of them to a dark move, so there you go. It must have been just ghost type. I was thinking, is it ghost water? Who knows? Gengar's here, and we know what this one's going to do if we don't kill it quick. It's going to Gigantamax, and it does anyway, to the giant mouth. So now not only have we got to worry about being defeated, we've got to worry about everyone being eaten by this black hole in the ghost's mouth. Max Ooze, bit of poison there, which Ben is weak against because he's part fairy, so we're very lucky he didn't die there. But he did one-shot Gengar as well, which is fantastic. Thank you very much, Ben. Good work. And that's it. We've done Alistair as well, which means that we're only a few battles from the end now. We've got, I think, one more, and then we're up against Leon. No handshake from creepy Alistair either, which I'm not sure is a bad thing. I think we're probably getting away with it here a little bit with this one, but we're on Raihan next. I think that's how you say his name. I forgot how I said it before, but this is a grudge match. Pierce has turned up. He's put as much effort into battling in the championship as he has his gym or anything else in life, which means he's been knocked out. He's a bit of a weird one, isn't he? But yeah, we're getting ready for basically the dragon type gym leader now, so that means that we don't really want to waste time with any, like, Pumbaa's out. We don't want him to get hit by a one-shot dragon move. Put Little Pigs in because Ice is obviously useful. Ben will be useful because he can do a lot of fairy moves. I think he's got one fairy move, and then the rest of the team can just pick up any weird straggler bits. I know he's got his iron type, his steel type dragon as well, so we'll see what happens. Now, yeah, Raihan doesn't know the damage he's done to us. He killed our Cinderace. He killed Blaze. We're here to avenge her now. He's absolutely ruined Blaze. He's ruined our whole Nuzlocke with his stupid moves and his stupid sand flying around in his gym. But he hasn't got any sand now. So we're just going mano a mano. And Lulu is hopefully going to take Torkoal down. Now, fire type, I kind of forgot he had this, but using high horsepower should kill it pretty quickly. It's absorbed light and immediately done a solar beam, which confuses me and takes me off guard slightly because I thought Solar Beam was a 2 move, like a charge and then a release, but it's just done it in 1. Now, high horsepower again, didn't do as much damage that time, but Torkoal's avoiding the attacks and yawning, so that means Lulu's going to fall asleep pretty quickly, which for a Snorlax is pretty bad. We don't want it to happen that easily. You know, they're known for their enjoyment of sleep. So We're at this point switching out, trying to figure out who's the best to go with, because Lulu would have been one to just keep going. I mean, we could have just full restored, but I don't want to accidentally lose it to a one-hit move. Soul Reavers come out, and they're going with their Turtonator. Again, I thought this was fire type, so I'm kind of confused as to why he's using these Pokemon when I could have sworn he was the dragon person, but he's currently used 2 fire Pokemon, which, again, I mean, he might have done this earlier. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's using moves and everything that's really mixed things up. I mean, maybe this is their way of throwing a curveball, but I suppose he needed a few extra Pokemon as well, but a couple of water moves, job done. I think this is Fire Rock, and I might be completely wrong about that, but we killed it anyway. Whatever I was assuming, I might have Ash Ketchum that and just stumbled through it and won despite my foolishness, but we have. We're on to Lil Pig now, who should be useful against the other Pokemon that I'm aware he's got. I mean, Goodra should just die to Blizzard straight off the bat. Should be a one hit, but it's not, which I guess is a level related thing. I don't really know why his Pokemon aren't dying as quickly as they should, but maybe they have items, maybe he's done something, I don't know. It could be some reason or another. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding how powerful I should be against these Pokemon, but he's forced me into a max potion at this point. We do not want to lose Little Pig. Little Pig is too important to our battling, and oh my god, we nearly lost her there. So get her out. But I don't really have anything else other than Snorlax, who's asleep, Lulu, to do an ice move, so we need to wake her up and hope that she just wakes without dying, which doesn't seem to be happening. I kind of wish I'd healed and swapped straight back before, really. But we'll see what happens. Survive the surf. The surfing Goodra. Come on, wake up, do an ice move, hopefully kill it. He's made it rain, which seems like a waste of a move because he could probably have had me then. But Ice Beam, it holds on by a slither, which if we'd have been in his stupid gym beforehand, would have killed it with the weather. But it's managed to weather this one by not getting hit by any sand. So more surfing, which again felt like a wasted move. It wasn't doing much damage. I feel like he should have been aware of that. I don't know whether in this world they're aware of the HP or whether that's just something we're aware of as the viewers. But I mean, that's a different question. But super effective ice move again. Let's go. Hopefully this should... Oh, here we go. Sandstorm. Flygon should hopefully just die from this, and it does. It was super effective, so it was definitely going to cause us some damage. Now, we can't really risk anyone anymore. I don't think Gareth shouldn't be anywhere near that. It's just fighting seems like a good one against a steel type Pokemon. I suppose this is Ben's weakness coming out, so it wouldn't be a good one to do against Duraludon. So I don't know. Max Quake seems like a good shout. We need to just hope that works. This is giving me flashbacks to losing Blaze now, though. I am thinking, oh my god, the last time we were up against this thing, the bloody sandstorm just wiped everyone out and caused loads of headaches. What I would love to see is for him to get down to 1 hit point, survive, and then get sandstormed out of it. But I don't think things are that poetic. Max Knuckle, that was a definite twitch because Max Knuckle against a normal type Snorlax should have hurt. I'm not really sure why it didn't again. Some of these things confuse me, but fighting type against Snorlax should have hurt it, and it didn't both times. I would have almost wanted to switch out there, but the damage wasn't enough to not switch out. But it's dead. We've killed Duraludon. We've survived it. A couple of earthquakes or whatever it was, max horsepowers, and it's gone. We've done Raihan, which means we've only got Leon left to do. He's very upset there. Look at him. We've obviously got a few bits of shenanigans story plot to do now, but before we get to that, let's just not shake hands with Raihan again. We're not shaking hands with him because he murdered our Cinderace. So we are now the sub-champion, the semi-champion, the finalist, the second best person in the Galarian region. And I'm sure Hop's absolutely blowing smoke, trying to say that his brother's better than us, but he wants to see us anyway. Shut up, Hop. No one cares. So with no break whatsoever and not even a change to the squad, I don't think we changed the squad. We're just going straight up against El Champino, and look at him there. We're going to take that bloody cape right off his back, and we're going to wear it in front of him, and that's going to show him good. But I mean, for those of you who never played this before, I'm not jumping into this too with haste because I know that the chairman's about to interrupt. But before things go, there'll be some sort of explosion, and then hold on. Hey, look, there's something on the screen. The chairman bleats on about how he's going to destroy the world and bring on the darkest day, and it's for everyone's sake, and he's trying to help, and he's a good guy, really. And whoa. So all of the gyms in the Galarian region are all Dynamax hotspots, which makes sense. I suppose that might be why old Pierce doesn't have any Dynamaxing at his gym, because maybe his gym isn't on a hotspot. He's just, made a gym on a playground, which is still his fault. He should know better. But Hop's going to apparently help out. I should have just told him to go away. I wanted to say no, don't help, but it wasn't an option. So we're going to go off and see whether we can wake up the 2 legendary wolves that were in the woods that we saw earlier in the game, back in the slumbering weald. So, and what is a weald? Is a weald a woods? Should I be calling every woods I see a weald? Do I live near a weald? I don't know. But yeah, we're going into the weald and we're waiting for this lovely little cinematic piece to play out where we pick up the sword and the shield, and then the sword and shield Pokemon appear, which is, very good. Very good. It's just a bit slow going. I wish I'd sped it up a little bit, if I'm honest. But here we are, chatting away. Sword and shield, just like the legend told us. I'll take the shield, because I didn't get a choice. It's just the game that I'm playing. I would have preferred to just have the choice while we're there. But Hop, even though he's got no talent or skill, he's just my mate. He's just there along for the ride, and somehow thinks that warrants him being able to pick up the rusty sword and summon a legendary Pokemon with it. We go to take on the old Chairman Rose, and we tell him we're going to stop the darkest day from happening. He doesn't think we're capable of it. He's obviously not been paying attention. I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time we've fought him, to be fair. We've beaten him several times, but this time he's decided, rather than just getting out a gun and popping me, he was going to try and fight me, and he's lost. He's immediately just clapping there. Job's a good one. He realizes that he probably would have lost anyway, but this was all a bit of a distraction. He knows that Eternitis is already awake and already wreaking havoc, so the battle didn't really matter. He's just going to leg it and disappear. I mean, again, I could have called the police. I could have tried to take him down with my Pokemon and arrested him with citizen's arrest or something, but nope, we just let him get away. Leon thinks he can take on Eternitis on his own. He's just standing around grunting with his Charizard. I mean, maybe if we were a more thoughtful champion, we'd have probably, if we had our eyes on the prize, we'd have let Eternitis take his Pokemon down a little bit, although I suppose he could have just healed him. But, if we'd have let them take him down, we'd have been the automatic champ. Now, he's trying to catch it. I feel like it was obvious that weren't going to work. That's such a small Pokeball. I'll catch it with the weakest Pokeball imaginable. But it didn't work. Here we are. We get to fight Eternitis. I basically just throw a Pokeball at it, and as you can see, it just gets hoovered into it. And, I mean, I'll put this out here now before we get to the final battle, but I'm not really sure why I didn't put Eternitis in my team. I mean, it's right there. I caught it. It was a legitimate catch. But for some reason, I suppose because I'm a grown man, I mean, when the wolves jump into space, I don't remember them doing that. This is the first time I've acknowledged that they just jumped into space randomly. Did they stop an explosion happening by jumping into space? Where did they go? What the hell happened there? But it took 3 days. We were knocked out for 3 days, apparently, from the explosion. But as you can see, Eternitis is not in my team. I'm looking back thinking, Sheepdog, you just got, like, the massive box... Oh, not box legendary. It's the better than the box legendary. It's the super high attacking Pokemon that is really powerful and would have been a good member to slot in your team. But I guess that would have made things a bit too easy. So here we are. We haven't been given any kind of buy. People don't seem to be at all phased that the world nearly ended 3 days ago. It's been 3 days. They're all piling back into the stadium in their droves. We're allowed to take on the battle. I feel like this should have been 3 months later or something. But, I mean, it's all looking good. We're up against Leon. He's come out. Look, this is what we've all been building up for. This is the final battle to win the Nuzlocke and become the part of the Nuzlocke Championship Hall of Fame. Now, I've got a confession to make at this point, and it's a dumb one. And without it, you won't really get how difficult this battle has become. But it occurred to me as we were walking in that I didn't buy any more potions, and I don't have any more potions. And so we're having to do this battle without healing anyone in the team. And yeah, I mean, at first I don't think it's much of an issue, but it gets harder. So first up, we're up against Aegis Slash, and being able to do a bit of earth-based, ground moves on it because it's steel type. I think it's Ghost Steel. Should be good. Should be all right. It protected against the first one because it's in shield mode, but now it's gone into blade form. It's hurt me with Sacred Sword, but I'm going there with high horsepower and nearly killing it. Now, it was super effective, but it didn't do it in one hit. We don't have any kind of way of healing. This is, I think, the moment where we confirm it, because we suspected at this point, but we have nothing to heal with at this point, so we're basically screwed. He's got full restores though, yay! So, Lulu's nearly done him in one hit there. We don't want to waste our high horsepower move constantly, but we need something that goes quick and easy, but it's going to outspeed us at every point. And look at that, Lulu's down to 1 health already with no way of healing back up. So Lulu is effectively out for the count now. We can't use Lulu anymore. We've got Haxorus up next, and we're switching for Lil Pig because we're hoping that Lil Pig can do a blizzard on it and kill it in one go. Now, his Pokemon are all level 63-ish, 64, 65, so they're not going to die easy. Iron Tail's done a big bit of damage on Lil Pig there, and Haxorus has that tiny little bit of health left. Now, it's faster than us, so we aren't going to get off Ice Fang or whatever we do here before they get off Iron Tail, and Little Pig's dead, which I wish it was the only one. So here's Ben with his play rough. Iron Tail does it in 1. Ben's dead. Ugh. I mean, anything would have been good here to try and beat this Pokemon, because we literally need to just nudge it. Literally any Pokemon who's faster than it would be good. But I don't know what speed any of these Pokemon go at. We're just hoping for the best. Outrage there takes half of Soul Reaver's health off, but Haxorus is now gone, finally. He's lost 2, I've lost 2. We're pretty even at this point. It's looking pretty good. Mr. Rhyme, Ice type, send out Gareth. This should be okay. This one should be fine, because we just melt it. We just set the little dancer on fire. Look at him, he's tap dancing. We just throw a ball of fire in his face, and that should be that. And it's not quite that, but it was close. He's doing a little dance. He's confused Gareth, but hopefully Gareth should just get over it. We're not taking any risks. I mean, I feel like I would have taken the risk at this point, because it feels like killing it quicker would be a good shout, but flamethrowed it twice, it's gone. So now we're 3-2 in my favor. He's got 3 down, I've got 2 down. We're just trying to figure out what we're going to do. I mean, Lulu's useless to us now. It's a shame that we didn't have anything that could have healed it. If she'd have had the leftovers like Toad does, that might have been useful. So Toad was basically put in entirely for Inteleon, but I was trying to explain that earlier. I couldn't remember the name of Inteleon. So, yeah, 1 shot, job done. Toad's job is basically delivered now. We don't need them anymore. But they've got the leftovers, which feels foolish, again, on my part, because what could we have done? Someone else having them might have been more useful. So Dragapult out. I feel like we could have put Ben here, but we got Shadow Ball, which was a very handy move for Gareth. So Shadow Balling it should make a big damage. It's done over half the health. But I don't know why Ben's dead, isn't it? That's why. We've lost Ben at this point, so we can't do anything. I'm still clutching at straws, looking for literally anything that might heal, but there isn't anything. So we just got to hope that Gareth survives, and he does. So he takes out Dragapult. And we're basically at a point here where we've got Gareth on no health, Lulu on no health, Toad, and Soul Reaver. And we're up against Charizard. So Soul Reaver's got water moves, which makes me think, do you know what? We've got this. We just need to squirt it, and then it'll be done. So we go for Max Geyser. We're gonna go more of a geezer than we've ever been before. We're basically going to be East London for the rest of this, just Max Geyser. And I'm hoping to everything. I'm praying to every god that Soul Reaver just stands up, grows big, and just vomits out water in its face. That's all we need. But no, Max Airstream, Soul Reaver's dead. Job done. Leon Sora's coming. So now we're at a point between no health Lulu, fire type Gareth with no health, or good old Toadie with no, he's going to die if he gets set on fire, isn't he? So, I mean, none of these are going to be faster than Charizard. I mean, if you want to save yourself some time here, just look at it this way. None of these are faster than Charizard, so we've got to hope he wastes a move on, like, checking his email or something. Gareth needs to get a Shadow Ball off before Charizard does anything. But no, Charizard has rock moves. It knew it was up against a fire type, but it dropped a rock on its head. So now we're sending Lulu to her doom, hoping that she can somehow become faster despite all the blubber. And just drop high horsepower. But no, max overgrowth. It's basically squirted her out with a bit of mushroom. And speaking of mushrooms, it's down to Toad all on his own. Now, I'd love to be able to tell you that he dropped a Moonblast and everything went well. And It's just, I don't know why I went with Spore. I think I was trying to paralyze it maybe, but I failed. And that's it. No more Pokemon that can fight. So as far as Nuzlockes go, we managed to get to the last Pokemon on the last piece, on the last battle, against the last thing, with one hit and all of that, and we failed. And I'm still gutted. I'm still bitter about it. It took me a little while to get over this. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very sad. So I'm sorry that you've just watched through it. I hope you don't hate me for watching a 5-part series where I lose, but just know that I'm going to be releasing future videos, and there's a bit of jeopardy here. I'm not only releasing the wins. That's basically the only logic I could think of that would help me release this without feeling guilty for letting people watch it. But I hope you've been entertained. I hope you've enjoyed it. And this is going to be the first series of many that I make. Hopefully they'll be more successful. Hopefully they'll all be good and you'll enjoy them all. And just let me know in the comments how you feel, really. Have you enjoyed the journey? The journey is what matters, not the destination. Is there anything I could have done differently in that battle beyond having potions? Obviously, off the record, we quickly redid the battle and with potions, and I smashed it. But that doesn't count. We lost the Nuzlocke and everything went wrong. But thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've subscribed. I hope you come to watch more videos with me. Thank you for watching. And obviously, if this is in the future and there's lots of videos out, there'll be more video series listed here. But yeah. Thanks for your time on this. I really appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know how you're doing, and yeah, catch you soon. Bye.